Hi, it's Jason from PFAM5. We hope you're having a blessed day wherever and whenever you are. And good morning if you're joining us at 8 a.m. Eastern Time. We just want to use this video series to encourage you to get into the Word, where to start if you've never read the Bible before. And we're starting with the book of John, the Gospel of John. And that is all about Jesus' life here on earth, but also it's focusing on the deity of Christ and how Jesus Christ is God. So, like I said, if this is the first time you're clicking on it, we encourage you to go back and watch the introduction video plus day 1 and day 2. Today we're actually going to read chapter 3, and we're reading from the ERV, the easy to read version. Now, it's not a common version that most people have on their shelves. You can order one on christianbook.com or Amazon. You're looking for the ERV version. There's not a lot of options out there, but where you can find it for free is you go to your app store, wherever you download your phone apps. You can download the YouVersion Bible app, and when you download and set up an account, it's free, by the way, but it allows you to track your progress and things like that. But you can do the drop-down box for translations. It might be already defaulted to like KJV or NIV or something like that. But the version that, if you want to follow along exactly the version that I'm reading, you'll do the drop-down box and you'll do ERV. And again, I chose this translation because I fell in love with it. It's just a super simple translation. It's like a 3rd grade reading level. Now I alternate between that and some other ones. But for the purpose of this series, I wanted to really just start with this translation because it's super easy to get into. So today, let's get right into it. It's Jesus and Nicodemus, starting at chapter 3 and the Gospel of John. There was a man named Nicodemus, one of the Pharisees. He was an important Jewish leader. One night he came to Jesus and said, "Teacher, we know that you are a teacher sent from God. No one can do these miraculous signs that you do unless they have God's help." Jesus answered, "I assure you, everyone must be born again. Anyone who is not born again cannot be in God's kingdom." Nicodemus said, "How can a man who is already old be born again? Can he go back into his mother's womb and be born a second time?" Jesus answered, "Believe me when I say that everyone must be born from water and the Spirit. Anyone who is not born from water and the Spirit cannot enter God's kingdom. The only life people get from their human parents is physical, but the new life that the Spirit gives a person is spiritual. Don't be surprised that I told you, you must be born again. The wind blows wherever it wants to. You hear it, but you don't know where it's coming from or where it is going. It is the same with everyone who is born from the Spirit." Nicodemus asked, "How is all this possible?" Jesus said, "You are an important teacher of Israel, and you still don't understand these things? The truth is, we talk about what we know. We tell people what we have seen, but you people don't accept what we tell you. I have told you about these things here on earth, but you do not believe me, so I'm sure you will not believe me if I tell you about heavenly things. The only one who has ever gone up to heaven is the one who came down from heaven, the Son of Man. Moses lifted up the snake in the desert. It is the same with the Son of Man. He must be lifted up too. Then everyone who believes in him can have eternal life. Yes, God loved the world so much that he gave his only Son, so that everyone who believes in him would not be lost, but have eternal life. God sent his Son into the world. He did not send him to judge the world guilty, but to save the world through him. People who believe in God's Son are not judged guilty, but people who do not believe are already judged, because they have not believed in God's only Son. Then they are judged by this fact: the light has come into the world, but they did not want light. They wanted darkness, because they were doing evil things. Everyone who does evil hates the light. They will not come to the light, because the light will show all the bad things they have done. But anyone who follows the true way comes to the light. Then the light will show that whatever they have done was done through God." Jesus and John the Baptizer. After this, Jesus and his followers went to the area of Judea. There he stayed with his followers and baptized people. John was also baptizing people in Aenon, a place near Salim with plenty of water. People were going there to be baptized. This was before John was put in prison. Some of John's followers had an argument with another Jew about religious washing. Then they came to John and said, "Teacher, remember the man who was with you on the other side of Jordan River. He is the one you were telling everyone about. He is also baptizing people, and many are going to him." John answered, "A person can receive only what God gives. You yourselves heard me say, I am not the Messiah. I am only the one God sent to prepare the way for him. The bride always belongs to the bridegroom. The friend who helps the bridegroom just waits and listens. He is happy to just hear the bridegroom talk. That's how I feel now. I am so happy that he is here. He must become more and more important, and I must become less important." The one who comes from heaven. The one who comes from above is greater than all others. The one who is from the earth belongs to the earth. He talks about things that are on the earth, but the one who comes from heaven is greater than all others. He tells what he has seen and heard, but people don't accept what he says. Whoever accepts what he says has given proof that God speaks the truth. God sent him, and he tells people what God says. God gives him the Spirit fully. The Father loves the Son and has given him power over everything. Whoever believes in the Son has eternal life, but those who do not obey the Son will never have that life. They cannot get away from God's anger. Now that is the Gospel of John in the New Testament, chapter 3. We hope that you'll join us tomorrow at 8 a.m. Eastern Time for chapter 4. And at that point, we will see what Jesus is up to when he talks to the woman in Samaria. Again, this series exists to encourage you and to, if you've never read the Bible before, where do you start? Well, let's start together. Let's start with the book of John, the Gospel of John in the New Testament. It's the ERV version. We will see you tomorrow. God bless.